Welcome back. Now to the Business Report with Joel Crosskill.
Lots to tap into in the Business Report today. With global e-commerce sales forecast to hit $6.4 trillion in 2025, representing approximately 20% of total commerce, a recent Mastercard study on SME digital payments offers insight into how local Jamaican entrepreneurs specifically are cashing in on the phenomenon. Dalton Fowles, Mastercard Country Manager for Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados, and the Eastern Caribbean, shares some of the key findings.
There's a narrative, in the past that cash is king. And it continues to be king in the true accounting terms. But when you're running a small business, cash carries quite a bit of cost. Year over year, growth in digital payments continue to be very robust. But there's also another study that shows that as much as 40% of Jamaica GDP is still in cash. We're trying to pivot.
91% of surveyed Jamaican SMEs using digital payments says it has led to business growth, while 54% of SMEs not yet accepting digital payments want to adopt them, in part due to consumer transition away from cash transactions.
0.69% of non-adopters report turning away customers at least once a week due to lack of digital acceptance. It's really easy to understand. As consumer preferences, and we talk about the secular shift in our business, as consumer preferences have moved towards paying through more digital means, right? No small business wants to see a sale walking through their door if they're not accepting digital payments. So it's extremely important to their business.
However, resilience gaps remain for digital adoption.
So it's one thing to not accept. It's another thing that the tool that you're given is robust enough to accept all kinds of payments. A country like Jamaica that depends so much on tourism, doesn't matter if you're a micro business or a small business, you could have someone walking in at any point with any card, and you really want to be able to accept that. What they're saying here is that we want to be able to take all type of cards, right? Of course, you have it depends on the type of business. So if you're a car rental company, then not just the traditional network cards are important. You want to be able to take JCB if someone comes from Asia, China in particular. You want to be able to take Amex.
Though, as we hear from the Mastercard Country Manager, the data suggests that many small and medium-sized businesses aren't interested in strictly transactional relationships with digital payment providers.
What they're also saying here is that I don't just want a terminal. I want a partnership. I want a relationship that is invested in my small business. And later on, we'll talk a little bit about access to capital, because that's exactly where they're going here. Don't just give me a terminal. Take my deposit. Are you vested in my business? Do you want to see my business grow?
According to Mr. Fowles, the global technology company believes it can play an important role in unlocking the untapped potential in the use of tools that strengthen security and resilience, with progress being made for the rollout of solutions for solopreneurs and micro businesses in particular.
This study is really on the SMEs. But it's not because we're ignoring the micro. In fact, we're very bullish. And the next phase of a lot of the work that we're trying to do, not just in Jamaica, but across the Caribbean, is really focusing on the micro. We believe as a network, we're uniquely positioned to continue to serve the evolving needs of the Jamaica SMEs. Of course, we provide seamless, secure, and scalable solutions to the market. Obviously addressing the pain points as well through some of the cyber and fraud tools that we bring to the market through our partners, who then make those available to the small businesses. And of course, we're building strong public-private partnerships to continue to grow digital acceptance.
Ultimately, the ambition is to bring thousands of micro enterprises into the formal economy.
The reality is that inclusive growth is a necessity, right, for economies to grow. We often, very often we have they're almost excluded, but they're legitimate businesses. Whether you're selling coconut on the side of the road or cane, it's a legitimate business that is cash heavy, and sometimes they don't get access to capital to grow their businesses, for example. So it's really important when we talk about an inclusive growth framework that we look and develop solutions that drive that inclusive growth.
In part through a combination of low-cost acceptance options as well as high-value services.
The newest, most exciting thing in the payments industry is TAP. This is now where you can use your smartphone, right? Download a solution, for example, and begin to accept payments. But there are also other low-cost devices that we are actively engaged with our partners exploring. Because again, if you're a micro business, and again, this is the segment we're going after, it's really important that your cost of acceptance remain low. We're also looking to introduce, I don't want to speak too soon here, but it's close to finalization, where we'll also be able to provide access to attorneys to help small business to register their businesses and so forth. But again, it's in the works. I feel confident that we can speak about that. But again, we are trying to make sure that if we're big on inclusive growth, then we're making sure that all the pieces are in place to help these micro businesses to be successful.
And that was your business report. I'm Joel Crosskill.
It's over now to social media.
Well, a security officer is wanted in connection with a $15 million robbery of an automated banking machine at a supermarket in St. Andrew on Sunday. The suspect is employed as a driver at a popular security company. 4 of his co-workers went to service an ABM at the shopping facility when he was left in the armored truck. Users are